What's up, y'all? The reviewer is here, and I'm back here to give y'all this video about rappers with suspect lyrics. Now, I've wanted to make this video for a while, and no, I don't have a list, but I just want to talk about some of the lyrics that I do hear. For those that's a music head like myself, listening to rap music, I'm pretty sure most of us heard lyrics that's considered suspect. Now, me personally, let me say my quick disclaimer before I start explaining myself. I don't really think in the gutter like that, all right? I really don't think in the gutter like that when I listen to rap lyrics, unless it's just straight up blatantly suspect. And I'm gonna say a few examples, because there's some certain lyrics or words that I wouldn't say, or like just a slang that I wouldn't use in today's time, because a lot of cats nowadays, they think a lot of homo stuff, and it kills me when people say no homo all the time. Because I'm one of those dudes, man, like I get it. You know, I'm not going to automatically think any homosexual thoughts like that. And for those that say that, says no homo, and no, they say no Diddy now. But for those that say that type of stuff all the time, it tells me, or pause, people say pause too. It tells me one or two things. I think when people, and specifically men, when men says pause or no homo a lot, I have to question that, because why are you thinking this way before you even say it? If you, cause my thing is this: if you know that you don't mean any homo or whatnot when you say something, you shouldn't have to say no homo or pause. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to say that, because for me, I'm very careful now of what I say, because a lot of people, a lot of cats used to be like, what? Why are you saying it like that? Like us saying what? Like what? Now, the only time I might think different is someone says something blatantly like, remember the song from Biggie? I don't remember the name of the song, but he said,
when I met you, I admit my first thoughts was a trick. You look so good, huh? I suck on your daddy's dick.
Something like that. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, nah, you on your own there, buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's when I will have to intervene and say, nah, bro, I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Because I get it. You don't mean literally when you say those type of things, but that's just blatantly like suspect, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna kind of respond to, I think he had one called Suspect Lyrics Part 1. I'm gonna respond to some of them that was listed. I know it was one that had loonies. It was I Got 5 on it. And there was a lyric on there that says, I take sacks to the face. And something like that, I'll give a pass, because we got to think, man, it was a different time. You know, this is in the 90s, when being a homosexual was not the norm, or at least not in the media. We all know what he meant when he said he takes sacks to the face, meaning, you know, he had dime sacks and stuff like that, or nickel bag, or whatever, you know, they smoke on. But I wouldn't really think in that mindset, because I know what he means by saying that. And also to add on that, we gotta think, this was a different time, man. This was in the 90s, when we used to say things like let's just say the block is hot, right? And there's a lot of cops around, and we'll be like, all right, I'm about to be on the down low, man, for a little while. We didn't mean gay undercover or being an undercover gay person. That's not what we meant back then. You know what I'm saying? When we on the down low, we laying low in the cut. Like we being secretive about things, we laying low. I remember on the Tommy Wright song, I think it was the Me Against the World. It went like,
tired of this bullshit. Now I'm on the down low, creeping while you're sleeping, trick or treating with my lights low.
Something like that. We know he didn't meant gay undercover. You know what I mean? We all know that's not what he meant. The thing about suspect lyrics, I guess that's what some say, is that the fact that you're really thinking of homosexual stuff when you hear certain lyrics, it's like, bro, gotta get your mind up together, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a song from 3 6 Mafia called Gotta Touch Him. We knew that touch them, if we gonna touch someone, we talking about we gonna rob they behind, we gonna, you know, get them what they got. We didn't meant like literally touch them or all that stuff. That's not what we meant. If anything, you better be lucky that's all they do, meaning we gonna rob. There's another one, another term of now people wouldn't say it nowadays. If someone says, man, I'm about to bust your ass, man, we meant like we gonna whoop your ass. Like it didn't meant like we gonna, you know, if we say that we bust, I'm about to bust, we all know what that means. But that's not what it meant. When we say we about to bust your ass, we about to whoop you, you know. So some people be like, oh, I wouldn't have said that, man. That would have been crazy, man, if we said it today. Or, excuse my French, but I'll say the whole title. 3 6 Mafia had a song, or I should say Lil Glock and SOG. They had a song called Blow a Nigga's Ass Off, right? And I saw someone in the comment section, they said, oh, you're gonna actually blow somebody behind? And I'm like, bruh, really? I said, I hope you're trolling. You know what I'm saying? I said, I hope you're trolling because you know damn well that's not what they mean. All right? If we blow somebody behind off, you better rest assured we talking about a sawed-off shotgun or maybe a damn Smith & Wesson or whatever type of firearm we might have. But specifically, when we say that, I'm about to blow your ass off with something, we're talking about a damn sawed-off shotgun 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that a lot of us need to understand when it comes to the suspect's lyrics. But another one that I would have to say that is, to me, I would never say this to anyone. You know, the DJ Quick song, Dollars a Cents, I believe he was dissing MC8. And he said one of the most craziest lyric. And it went like,
I never had my dick sucked by a man before, but you gon' be the first, you little trick asshole. Then you can tell me just how it tastes. But before
and I now at that point I'm like, all right, bro, that's too much. That is too much of what was being said. And then some people were arguing, you know, it was a different time back then. You know, I get that, but if we're totally against gay people, I'm not against gay people. They do what they do. But if they're supposed to be against gay people, and you know, we shouldn't say gay references, especially something like that. To me, that's something like, man, that's some things that I just wouldn't even fix my mouth to say. I just wouldn't do it. Because I already know in today's time that it will be, we call it the cancel culture. I already know that's what it's going to be. Because that's something that you just don't do, man, or don't say. I wouldn't dare say that to anybody. Another one that he mentioned on the song is the Cannabis second round knockout. And Cannabis lyrics went like,
well, let me tell you something. You might got more cash than me, but you ain't got the skills to eat a nigga's ass like me.
I'm like, I knew what he meant when he said that. We used to say the term eat back then. Like, if I'm about to eat an MC, that means I'm about to, whoop him or murder him in his place with the lyric. That's what we meant. And I believe Mike Tyson said something like that too, to someone.
Scared like a little white pussy. Scared of the real man. I'll fuck you till you love me, faggot.
And we all know he don't mean it literally. You know what I'm saying? He's at least as far as I know. As far as I know, I'm sure he didn't mean literally. The thing is with people, man, like, I never really said the term pause when I say something because I didn't felt the need to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's gay, they're gay. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing against anyone's sexual preference at all because it ain't got nothing to do with me. But I don't feel as though I need to say pause every time I say something that some people may remotely find suspect. It just, now if someone says something like, oh, that's what she said, if I say something, then I'll chuckle a little bit, but I'm not going to be saying pause or no homo, or I'm not wasting my time saying that because I know deep down inside that I'm not that way. And I shouldn't have to say it, and neither should anybody else. But that's just my opinion about it. It just, the lyrics or what people say, where it shouldn't be something that you're thinking about, wait a minute, man. But there was another one that, there was a song with Ludacris called Area Codes. Ludacris said something like,
I Bangkok and Bangkok, can't stop, I turn and hit the same spot.
Back then, it wasn't cock, it was cot, C-O-T. It basically meant vagina. He said, I Bangkok and Bangkok. Basically, he's rhyming with Bangkok, obviously. But I think someone got the lyrics wrong. Yeah, cot, C-O-T, was the actual term. And now, I never used that term back then because I was a young kid, so I didn't knew those type of slangs. But I knew that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? When I listened to it back then, I already kind of figured he wasn't talking about no damn penis. It just, to me, we just have to be careful of what we hear and to not overthink things or read into things too much. You know how men used to tell each other, man, suck my dick. You know, they used to say that to each other. To me, when someone says that, they're pretty much insulting you. 9 times out of 10, they don't mean literally get down on your knees, open your mouth and start sucking their penis. You know, I'm sure that's not what they mean. This is just some of the things that I've heard on the video. It was the Rap Suspect lyrics part 1. I might do another one and make more of an explanation when it comes to these the sayings that we used to say back then. Like I said, as a result, I've never in my entire life, as far as I'm concerned, had to say no homo or pause or no Diddy. I may say that as a joke. I may say no Diddy as a joke, but I would not be remotely serious when I say certain things. Why? Because I'm very careful of what I say or explain certain things. Let's just say, for example, to prevent myself from saying anything that's considered suspect to others, there might be a long rod on the ground, right? I can be like, you see that long piece of rod on the ground, that like right there? Can you please help me pick up this silver metal off of the ground? I'll say it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that way I won't get myself caught up with anyone that's that's thinking in the gutter like that. Because I try to like comprehend people's minds and how they think, so that way it won't come off as a, now if I said, hey, help me pick up this long rod off the ground. Because for those that don't know, we all know what rod can possibly mean. You know what I'm saying? So I say, can you pick up this long piece of metal off the ground? You know, help me pick this up. So that way it won't sound homo, I guess, to others. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I just want to explain myself, I guess, in response in that video, and just in general about the way people think nowadays, or even people back then. I think people back then used to think like that. That's why the term pause came around. I'm not, and you know what? I'll say one more thing too. I'm not, if I'm behind somebody, I'm not going to say, hey, I'm about to come up on your behind. I'm not going to say that. I'll be like, hey, I'm right behind you or something. Just to kind of clear that way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that's it. I might come back with a second part of this and speak more about some of the video that I think is the second one that he has too. I might come in as a response to that. If y'all want to watch the video, I'll put the link in the description box. It is funny though. I I can't even take nothing away. It is a funny video. So shout out to GulleyBoy, because I remember he made this video some years back. It's sad, not really sad, but it's crazy that he had to rebrand his channel to, I guess, to meet with the guidelines. And that's what I mean. I'll speak more about guidelines too on another video. That's it. Much love to the real folks, and I'll be on here back with another video. All right, peace out, guys.